Hey guys. Uh, yeah, it's me. No, I'm alive. I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Just playing with the fish, cause I don't know I'm cooking. Doki Doki, Fallen Angel. Part 2. Yeah. Alright. What's holding me back from getting into this? Let's just start. Okay. I've been watching the draft. NFL. I'm a football fan. Also can't hear the game at all. You guys can, but I can't. I muted it because I'm still watching the draft. So if I bring that up at all, then yeah, obviously, yeah, that happens because I care about football. Well, I'm back in the literature club. When I look around, everything seems to be going normally. Yuri's reading her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Hey, Yuri. I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. I turned my head to read the cover. Portrait of Markov? Ah, here it is. Huh? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No. I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? That sounds great, Yuri. Thanks. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with the filter inside. Can you hold this for a sec? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm gonna plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water. She walks. Okay, sorry, I was distracted because I started to hear music. I was just like, I have the game muted, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? I hand Yuri back the water pitcher. Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you rather than just standing here. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? Huh? Yuri and we're gonna go get some. I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. Luca and I were gonna fill the water pitcher, Monica. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? What? She said something. That's. I said that. Monica, would you kindly remove your nose from other people's affairs? Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Puka in club activities? Or are you upset because I'm doing more to involve our new member in the club than you are? Oh, okay. I'm sensing some hostility. My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Puka. Yuri quickly exits the room. I look around the room. I see Sayori dig her face deeper into her book. Over in the corner, Natsuki recedes back into the closet. The look on Monica scares me. I quickly follow Yuri out into the corridor. Ravens, they're getting defense. Okay, because they believe in their offense, which makes sense. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri? Something about the way she said that, it made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? How do I have to make myself so unlikable? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Puka, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Sorry. Gosh, they're just picking up players. The Ravens are still going to be a threat. Okay. You're you're being nice to me because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify the things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. Uh, no. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Uh, um, Yuri lifts her head. Puka, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. Did I just... Oh, my boy. My boy. Did you really get friend zoned already? Did I did I just get friend zoned already? You know, I know a thing or two about being friend zoned. It sucks. 6 years in a row. 4 years in a row. I mean, not 6 years. That'd be yeah. That'd be way too long for me. No, well maybe I don't know. 4 years was pretty long, so two more doesn't seem like much now. Anyway, I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyways, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Ooh, ooh, stairs. Okay. New area. We arrive at the water fountain. Yuri begins to fill up the pitcher. Puka, do you think Monica is mad at me? I think back to Monica's blank expression. I don't think Monica's the type of person who would get upset over something like that. I should apologize to her. I should apologize to her. Right? I think so. Just tell her how you feel. It wasn't right for her to intrude on us. You're right. I'm just not very good at displaying my emotions. I don't really get to experience social interactions as much as other people. And when I do, I usually end up embarrassing myself. I unintentionally give her a look of pity. I tried to come up with something to say. Yuri, yes? She looks at me with upturned eyes, like I'm some sort of painting she's appreciating at a museum. I think you have enough water. Huh? Yuri looks down at the pitcher. The pitcher is completely overflowing and spilling over. Yeah! Yuri quickly lets go of the button. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I Yuri, it's fine. It is? Yeah. I'm sorry I distracted you. Then okay. Yuri dumps out the excess water. I need to do something here. Yuri's clearly still on edge. Yuri, look at me. Huh? It's going to be fine. You didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't focusing on the water. I'm not talking about the water. I mean with Monica. You don't have anything to worry about. Are you sure? I'm sure. Here, I'll prove it to you. From this moment on, I promise I will do everything in my power to stop anything from hurting you. I realized that was probably a very odd thing to say to a girl I met only 3 days ago, but thank you, Puka. Huh? Let's go to the classroom now. Everyone's probably wondering where we are. Yeah, let's go. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but it appears Yuri at least let go of her current anxiety. As we enter, I can feel the penetrative stares of the other club members. Puka, do you like oolong tea? I'm not really that knowledgeable when it comes to tea, so I guess whatever is fine. I'm gonna pull up the stream real quick and make sure there's no comments going on or anything like that. Oh, hello, Sayori. There are comments going on. I just did not notice it because, there's a lot going on right now. Probably the worst time for me to stream, but Well, perhaps I can teach you sometime on the art of making tea. Yeah, that'd be a nice date, huh? Huh? I guess I said too much. So, what exactly is the first step to making a hot cup of tea? Uh, I do my best to lighten the mood. Oh, well, allow me to show you. Yuri sets up the temperature on the kettle at 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. Okay, well, I guess I can close out of that. Because it's draft time. I thought about streaming the draft, to be honest, but then again, I can't do that legally. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything, in that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I won't. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. And you notice, I was doing a bit of thinking recently, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do, when it's you who's around anyway. Ah, it's getting hot again. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Puka. It's very endearing. That's... Yuri wasn't kidding. My face is probably bright red at this point. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Puka, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Ah, sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Uh-huh. I'm 99% sure we're not talking about reading posture, but I think it's best if I just leave the conversation at that. Cliff is like Gordon Bombay. I'm trying to have a crib like Cliff. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, I was reading tweets from football. I'll go get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. Interesting. You're getting a running back. Okay, it's a yeah. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? I always found Yuri cute since the moment I laid eyes on her, but when she's being less apprehensive, I feel my heart is about to burst. Your teacup. My Yuri hands me my teacup. Oh, thanks. holding it, holding it with my hand that's not holding the book. I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her posture. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I call upon every reserve of willpower I have in order to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. Oh yeah, I forgot I get to read. Ah yeah, the Keanu. Run, Lena! Keanu shouts at me. I run as fast as I can. Ugh. I hit something solid and fall on my back. Upon impact, the back of my head collides with the air. My head begins to throb uncontrollably. I try to see what I ran into. A guard appears before me. He gazes down at me with a sinister smile. He then motions to another guard and shouts something foreign. Get off me! I hear Keanu yell from several yards behind me. I try desperately to see what's going on. Suddenly, I remember I have chocolate with me. I put the teacup in between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. And are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages. Ah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Hackers, be smart. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Yuri opens the book with both hands. He holds it. She holds it tight. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading it from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Oh my god! I just thought about who's it gonna be our? Oh my! I just thought about football for my high school. My brain is short circuiting at this point. In that case, Yuri has already been dragged back into her book. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. What the heck am I supposed to do here? I can't stop now. Apprehensively, I place the chocolate into her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Huh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just? Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Um, Puka? Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. One of these days, I will hold a conversation with a girl without making a fool of myself. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. Is this supposed to be like some sort of innuendo? I don't know. Okay. At this point, I can hear my own heart racing. Yuri tries to return to the book, but even I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. I'm in too deep to stop now. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers. I start to place them into my mouth, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did I even come to this? Yuri doesn't even avert her gaze. Her lavender eyes pierce through mine. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I have half the chocolate sticking out of my mouth. I lean my face towards Yuri, as if both of us are in a trance. Our face is growing even ever closer. The rest of the world is gone. It's just every time, every time. It's just me and Yuri in this single moment in time. Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone. Ugh. In my panic, I accidentally inhale the chocolate. I start to cough uncontrollably while the other members just stare pitifully. I gulp down the rest of Yuri's tea to wash down the chocolate. It's time to share poems. Puka, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll, I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. Once I calm down from my near-death experience, one of the best overpowered gobblegums on Black Ops 3, which no one will get that reference. Okay. Yeah, pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling that this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Show and tell time. Ready to take a look at my poem today? Of course. I'm eager to see how much you have improved. I wouldn't exactly say I've improved, but we'll see what happens. I hand Yuri my poem. Mr. Finger. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Mr. Fingers. Despite bitter judgment, despite what you know, eternity is encased in a rusty cage. No one can leave, no one can be free. The feeling of rust on the fingertips, like rusty spoons, it's almost the horror of the sound of rusty spoons on a rusty cage. Scraping, scraping, scrape. As contamination washes over the desolate landscape, the birds chirping turn to cries of men. The howling wind turns to the screams of children. The rustling. I know this is bad timing. Okay, I'm back. Um, the rustling leaves turns to deafening silence. Silence is all there is in a rusty cage, except when the silence is broken by a rusty spoon. I don't get that poem. I don't. Puka? Oh, Puka? I really hope Yuri doesn't figure out I wrote this poem down in one go. I have no idea how to use symbolism or anything. Literally everything in my poem is just scrambled words put together to pretend to have meaning. Yuri's a very perceptive reader, though. This isn't good. She's gonna find out I bullcrap my poem. This poem is phenomenal. What? If I had to guess, dissecting this poem, I can see a lot of symbolism. At first glance, it may appear as if the writer had no idea what they were doing. She hit the nail on the head right there. But diving further into it, the way he described the rusted cage and spoon, and used the auditory examples, Puka, correct me if I'm wrong, but this poem is describing the mind of someone with schizophrenia, right? The cage representing the mind, the rusty spoon symbolize the sporadic thoughts that pound on one's brain, and the horrid sounds show the hallucination one hears and sees. What the fuck? Yeah, Yuri! That's exactly what I wanted to convey when writing this. Your poem is indescribable, but in a good way. How did you manage to pick up these techniques so quickly? Thanks, Yuri. Although I'm sure it's nothing in comparison to what you wrote. You flatter me, Puka. Let's see what the Chiefs do. Who? Okay. TCU. Okay, anyway. However, you shouldn't cut yourself short. With more practice, you'll be able to display to the reader your most inner thoughts. I don't know, Yuri. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Milk spills. What? I don't get that. I don't get that. Anyways, please continue. Yes. As I was saying previously, you shouldn't be afraid to be more daring with your work. Rather than writing down your own thoughts, write down what you see and hear. That sounds like a good exercise, Yuri. Maybe I'll try it out. I have an example of that, if you'd maybe want to. I'd love to read it. Yuri smiles dreamily and hands me her poem. I'm not reading the raccoon. I'm not doing it. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. Maybe I'm just dense, but I don't have even the slightest clue as to what this poem is supposed to mean. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions to them. Yeah, if I take it at the face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing. Okay, who did the Browns pick? Okay. They choose a receiver. Oh, okay, I was wrong. Okay, Jacob Phillips, linebacker. And people would make fun of me. Do you really think that, Yuri? Yuri nods slowly. Well, I suppose I can't speak for everyone, but I want you to know that no matter how strange your hobbies it may be, I would never judge you based off them. You don't really mean that. Of course I do. Everyone has their own weird hobbies they may not want to share. Plus, it's not like you're doing anything dangerous, right? Right? Is just me or is you're... Okay, no. I mean, I know I have a lot of guilty pleasures I'm embarrassed about. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best way we can do is respect each other and our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Puka. That's exaggerating a bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. I try to hide the fact that I'm starting to blush. It's nothing really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. Just for a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Well, once again, that's everyone. After yesterday, I felt it was a bit easier for me to share my poem today. After all, anything would be a big improvement from the poem I wrote yesterday. On the other side of the room, Yoseri is talking to Natsuki. Wait, so he didn't kill him because their mothers are both named Martha? Yep, that's lazy writing, don't you think? I pan my eyes down the room. They stop on Yuri and Monica, who are sharing their poem. Looks like Yuri is trying to apologize. Yuri, let me tell you something. Monica leans into Yuri's ear. Do you understand? Yes. Yuri nods timidly. What was that about? I begin to walk over, but Monica grabs everyone's attention. Okay, everyone, I believe that concludes the poem sharing for today. Monica, I have to go early to catch up on homework. Is that okay? Sure, Sayori. See you later. Bye! Sayori waves goodbye and skips off. I have to go too. My dad is making dinner and I have to be there on time. Natsuki leaves without saying anything else. Monica goes behind the teacher desk to do club president stuff, I suppose. I guess that leaves Yuri and me. I walk up to her. Hey, Yuri. Is everything alright? Is there something you want to tell me? I've got to go do something. Yuri rushes out of the room, clinging in her backpack. Well, that was odd. I turn around to stare at Monica. Hey, Monica? She looks at me from the stack of papers. Is there something you need, Puka? Do you know what's going on with Yuri? She's a strange one, isn't she? Not that there's anything wrong with that, mind you. Yeah, but she seems to be acting stranger than normal. Well, maybe you should just ignore her. Ignore her? Yuri isn't used to being around new people, so I just shouldn't talk to her. No. It's okay to make some light small talk, but just don't go too attached. Yuri has a way of being a bit obsessive when it comes to these things. Now I'm really lost. I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't think I'm following. Look, Puka. Just don't get too close to Yuri, alright? I mean, you can always spend time with me. I began to blush. Did Monica, the class star, just ask me to spend time with her? I shake the thought out of my head. I don't know, I feel Yuri and I have been getting along rather well. Oh, Monica? You don't really know Yuri though, do you? I mean, sure, she's mysterious, but I think I'm learning more about her each day. Also, earlier Monica whispered something into Yuri's ear that seemed to really bother her. What did you tell Yuri earlier? What do you mean? I saw you whisper something to Yuri and... Oh, don't worry about that. It was just some girl stuff. There's something here that she's not telling me, but I'd be dreaming if I thought I'd be able to get information out of Monica. Is there anything else you need, Puka? I guess not. Awesome. Well, if you don't mind, I have some club president stuff I have to do. I guess this is how Monica not so subtly asked me to leave. Alright, bye Monica. Ugh. Girl stuff? Yuri seemed really bothered by whatever Monica told her. It must have been really unnerving. Yuri completely ignored me and rushed out the room. Perhaps I'm overthinking this. And what was that Monica was talking about, Yuri being obsessive over these things? What does she even mean by these things? And what does she mean by obsessive? I feel Yuri and I have gotten fairly close, and I'm starting to actually understand her. Or perhaps she's only showing me what she wants me to see. This is getting me nowhere. I can't focus on anything else except Yuri. I need to clear my mind. Perhaps writing a poem will help. Nope, it won't. Okay, I have a burger sitting right here. Alright, so that's going to be it for this stream, guys. Let me save the game. Okay. Let me just go over here. Okay, let's quit in the game. Alright, here we are. Oh. Hey, Johnny. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, why don't you guys